States. It's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mark from the States. How are we doing today? I am doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate each and every one of you coming to hang out with me. Come sit on this fake couch. Oh boy. Today, look who we have. Miss Violet, the lovely Miss Violet. How are we doing, sweetheart? Thank you for coming. We even have, this is a special treat. We've got both of them today. Hi. What's up, big boy? Want to say hello? Huh? You're so precious, yes. All right. Today, based on the video we watched the other day, we're back in Lavenham. This is Britain's 600-year-old crooked house. This is Kirsten Jorg. This had come requested by many of you after that video, and so just so we kind of wrap up our visit to the village, I want to take a look at this. The thumbnail was crazy looking at that house. So this is Britain's 600-year-old crooked house. Please come hang out with me, and I hope everybody's having a great day, and let's get into it. Please go support their channel. Really important that you go. The link will be in the description. I'm sure a lot of you already do, but it'd be awesome if you did. In the last video we watched, I didn't even get to see her eyes. They were both wearing sunglasses. Well, she was pretty much for the whole video.
Today, we're meeting the owners of Britain's wonkiest house. It's the 600-year-old crooked house in Lavenham. Some of you might even recognize it because it's one of the most photographed houses in the world. But now, let's meet Alex and Ollie.
Really? Okay.
Look, we've got something. Built in 1395, this be a fine wool merchant's house, and the very same that inspired the old English nursery rhyme, there was a crooked man. Today, this home to two crooked men who host here in the most magnificent parties, events, tours, and experiences.
Hello!
Hi!
Hello, come on in. Welcome to the Crooked House.
Thank you so much. So we're here with the wonderful owners of the Crooked House, Alex and Ollie. Thank you so much for having us, by the way.
Wonderful to have you here.
It's so great to be here. This house is like a dream.
Too kind, very kind. We love it here. It's a very special house for us.
I can imagine. And we just want to know more about your story. I think the viewers are really interested in that as well. How you came across this amazing house.
Whoa.
What does it feel like to live here?
It's a very special feeling living here. It's a 600-year-old house. It was built in 1395, but we discovered it in 2018, a few years ago. When I came here, I hadn't met Ollie at the time. I came here on my own when it was a tea room, and I was looking for a weekend away from London. One of my friends said, go to Lavenham and go to a lovely little tea room called the Crooked House. And I stepped inside the door over there, and I sat at a table just here, and I thought, I want to live in this house. It is such a magical place. Like
I can totally see that.
We love it. And then 2 years later, I met Ollie in lockdown. The world had changed. Everything had stopped for COVID. And amazingly, the Crooked House had come up for sale at the time. And Ollie and I had just started chatting, and I sent him the link on Rightmove and said, wouldn't this be the dream house for us to live in? It was a very forward thing to say, but luckily he agreed.
Exactly, I did. And I'd never heard of Lavenham, the village. I'd never seen this house. But then Alex sends me this link on Rightmove, and I think, that is the perfect house for us. It looked so magical, and so interesting and so old that we thought, what a perfect place for us to live.
Yeah.
And so we'd only known each other a couple of months, but we wanted to go. But then, sadly, it went under offer and somebody else wanted to take it first.
But luckily, that sale fell through. And on that day, Ollie booked a surprise trip for us from London.
Sounds
There was
like
a
fate.
hired car that he found. And we came here to Lavenham, and I couldn't believe we were actually coming to Lavenham. I remember saying to him, if we're viewing the house, but we're not going to buy it, it's going to break my heart. But luckily, he was as serious as I was. And we had our offer accepted. And we've never looked back. This is our home for life. We never want to leave. It's a wonderful place to live. And now we're sort of sharing it with everyone.
Yes.
It's like fate.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It really does feel like it.
Yes. Yeah, and what does it feel like to live in a 600-year-old house?
I think it is quite extraordinary because it is a domestic house and always has been. So for the last 600 years, people have done exactly the same things as we do in this physical space.
Yeah.
We go to bed, we get up, we dress, we wash, we cook, and that's exactly what people in this house have done for the last 628 years.
Yes.
And I think it's that connection to history that we feel every day living here. You really understand the people who've lived in this house because you both inhabit the same space. So we understand the light and the way that the house is built. We understand how to heat the house when there really isn't modern heating.
You have to heat yourself. You can't heat the house. It's very drafty.
So that's really been our approach from the start, is try almost to live a bit more like the people who have lived here for the last 600 years, rather than trying to pull the house into the modern day, push ourselves back in time, and then it's actually a very comfortable, wonderful place to live.
As such, we're slightly eccentric, and we have our Tudor costumes as we've told you about, but we'll come on to that
boy.
later.
So this house, Crooked House, it is very unique. Obviously one of the most photographed houses in the world. How come?
Is that true? I could see it being true, of course. It being so old, of course, there's going to be a lot of challenges to modernize your world inside, I guess. Of course, you all know me. I've got to have my TV, so you got to have that somewhere. But you're not going to want to really put anything on the walls, or certainly don't want to, alter any of the structure, of course. And it's I always not I don't it's not admire, but I guess I'm curious on people who choose to live in these historic homes, especially apparently this one is so famous. I only now just learned about it, but it is very wonky. At least the outside. I'm just curious what it's like, if living in, you feel a kind of a tilt or anything like that. I guess you kind of get used to it if there is. So hopefully they'll go into it.
It looks like it does.
It's a very good question.
Yes.
Lots of people say, why is it so crooked?
Yeah.
It is the inspiration for the nursery rhyme. There was a crooked man who walked a crooked mile. So it has been crooked for a long time. And it probably became crooked about 100 years after it was built. It was built by a wool merchant in 1395. Lavenham at the time was becoming a very rich place. It was the richest wool town in England because they made a very special cloth here called Lavenham blue cloth. And it was the kind of denim of the day. It was very fashionable. Everyone wanted to buy it. Mm-hmm. And so it made the people in Lavenham very rich. And the man who owned this house was one of the earliest wool merchants, and he became very rich and wanted a big grand house to show off his newfound wealth. However, he'd made his money so quickly that he didn't let the wood to build the house out of dry properly. And as it dried, the house kind of twisted and contorted into this famously crooked shape. But sadly for Lavenham, the wool wealth didn't last that long. And as more fashionable weavers came to nearby Colchester, Lavenham lost a lot of its money. And so they never had the money to knock down this crooked house and rebuild it. And we're very glad that they didn't, because
Well, that was lucky that happened, but it's just that picture of it, just totally, it's just amazing that it doesn't fall down on its own. That, I guess. But one of the things I marvel is if you're going to live there, you have to learn the history. And because people are going to come by, people are going to want to know what's the deal. So kudos. You're going to move into a house like this. You got to totally hit the books and understand all the history of it. So you can then be the, what do they call the person that holds the knowledge and then allows, the keeper of the history, so he can then pass it on to the next generation, whoever then owns the house after them, or whoever, or you know what I mean. God, what is it? Yeah, I'm sure you guys are screaming the answer at me, but so you got to give these guys, especially if you had no idea going into it, you just like the house, and then you're like, oh, we've got something here. People are going to want to come see it. They probably already were at that time. They probably knew that they're going to spend most of their days with people outside photographing. And now that they own it, do they own? Now I'm getting into the weeds here, but do they own any images, like the likeness of the house, going on postcards or on photographs or anything like that, or is it just, I don't know what the law is in the UK about that sort of thing.
It's a very special place, and people love it because it's crooked and because it doesn't look like other houses, and we love it the same.
Yeah, it catches your eye straight away.
Yes.
And so this house, like you live in now, it used to be a lot bigger. Hundreds of years ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what you see today as the Crooked House, which we live in, was originally part of a much bigger medieval hall house. And so our house, the house next to it, and the house next to that was all originally one single house. We now live in this part, the Crooked House, which was originally the kitchen and the pantry. Next door to us, our neighbours on this side would have had the medieval Great Hall, a single room, double height, which was built just to entertain. It was an entertaining space for clients, for friends, for royals, but also to display all the wool and the wealth that was being made in our house, because upstairs was the weaver's workshop. And so that's where the magic happened. That's where all of this Lavenham blue cloth was made, which made Lavenham so rich. And then finally on the other side would have been a similar looking building to the Crooked House, but that was the private quarters of the wool merchant who would have built this large medieval hall house in the first place.
It's just amazing, so special. But we will continue and we'll show you more.
There was a crooked man, he walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence upon a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house.
I can't say that I've ever heard that. $1578. Oh, wow. So that's upstairs? I wonder if they rent it out to have dinner parties and stuff like that.
Now, as you can see, we're in the gorgeous dining room of the Crooked House. And, well, Ollie and Alex, you're hosting special events here.
Okay.
Can you tell us
There
more and the viewers more about this?
Definitely, yes. We have a wonderful supper club here in the Crooked House. All around our dining table here, Ollie does all of the cooking for our 18 guests each time.
That's amazing.
Yes, I've learned a lot about how to cook for large numbers of people, especially given our kitchen is downstairs, but our dining room is upstairs, so that's the first challenge that we have to face.
Yes, yeah. And also, I mean, so you're hosting black tie dinners and themed events.
Everybody gets dressed up, yes, for Halloween, for Christmas. If it's an occasion, we find an excuse to have a party here in the Crooked House. We love decorating the table. We love inviting everyone. And we meet so many amazing, interesting people.
Yes.
We mix everybody up around our table, so everyone gets to make new friends and hopefully magical memories here.
So you can also book house tours with you. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So everything we do is really about telling the 600-year story of the house, whether that's through our black tie dinners, but also we run a series of house tours where people can come and experience the house in a slightly different way. And we also offer a Crooked Life experience where you can live a bit more like us for half a day or a full day. That includes a tour of the house, but also we do a tour of Lavenham, the village that we live in, and then we all come back to the Crooked House for a traditional English afternoon tea.
that sounds lovely. And it's also so funny to watch the people outside, because you see like people walking past the house taking pictures.
It makes everybody smile, and that's what we love.
Yes.
When people see the house, they always smile. It looks very unusual, but that's why we love it, and that's why they love it. So it's a great place to be.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there the house is paying for itself. If you have this income, that helps, with upkeep and, everything else. And it sounds like that's their career. That's what they do. That's their job, is they're hosting, tours and events. And yeah, really cool that you could do that, because it allows people to experience it more than just standing outside, which is great for them, obviously. And then it's probably a lot of fun, and it's probably great for the surrounding area. Now, I can't speak for everybody in Lavenham, but you bring in tourists, even that pesky American tourist, who can go on down to the Swan, which I think. Do we see, is that the Swan down here? Oops, sorry. Is this the Swan right there? If so, that'd be awesome. So it's I think it's a really cool deal. Yeah, be fun to visit. And here's the thing, it'll allow me to not just go for the Airman's Bar.
Great, well, here's my very special bookcase.
Before we continue, but it gives me something else to see and do while I'm there. So it's just making this higher and higher up the list here of places that I need to go see for sure.
Yeah.
With all my favourite books in, but even more special than my books, if that's possible, is this little model of the house, which I bought for Alex the first Christmas that we had met, but we hadn't yet moved into the Crooked House. So I bought this for him for Christmas and said, Alex, one day we will live here. And 3 months later, we moved in.
I mean,
3
I call
months.
that manifestation. Can see it seems to work. Gives me hope. So what I would really love to know, and I'm sure a lot of you as well, is this house haunted?
It is indeed. Yeah, actually, you look afraid.
I know. Yes.
Well, when we came to the house, we know it's haunted because we've had some experiences ourselves, but also we received this letter when we moved in. And this was from the ladies we bought the house from. And it says, "Dear Ollie and Alex, welcome to the Crooked House. We've had many happy years here and hope you will too. Just to let you know, there are a few other residents you'll be sharing your new house with, as we have for the past 18 years. In the bedroom, where we are now, is the ghost spirit memory, call it what you will, of a woman and child. And I woke up one evening over in the bed here and saw a woman standing in front of me. And I was surprised by this, but actually I wasn't afraid. It was a very nice, calming feeling. And similarly, there's also in the letter reference to a lady called Mrs. Carter, who is said to haunt the house, and she was from the 1960s, and Ollie has experienced her.
I have, yes. So Mrs. Carter, her father was a priest under the last Tsar in Russia, And when the revolution came, they fled Russia and came to England. Later in life, Mrs. Carter moved to Lavenham. And so people say that when Mrs. Carter is in the house, you don't see her, but you can smell her. And that's exactly what I experienced. I woke up in the middle of the night and there was this incredibly strong smell of floral perfume. And that's exactly what people have said about Mrs. Carter's spirit in the house. Again, it was a very nice feeling. I wasn't scared. Obviously, I sniffed Alex to see if it was him, but it wasn't him. And then the smell disappeared. So we're very happy to be here with our ghosts, but there are plenty of them.
It's a cozy house, but it's a very friendly house. And when we finished here, no doubt we'll stay on as ghosts as well. So
That's really interesting to hear. It gives me shivers, honestly. So, yeah.
It's a special place.
Yes, it does sound, I mean, it is magical, and that makes it even more, I don't know, special.
Can we just say that pretty much every building in the UK is haunted by somebody? It seems like every town's got a bunch of places that are haunted, and it just, with all that history, I mean, of course, I believe it. Oh, that's cool.
Great, come on through.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome to my kitchen. And luckily for you, I've made something very special.
Okay.
Here you have our very first batch of crookies.
Crookies. Look at this. I mean,
Our Crooked House biscuits, just for you.
wow, amazing. Thank you. And also, I mean, the house has this amazing orange colour.
I love
Of
it.
course, yeah, we had to make them orange to match the house.
I thought because of Halloween, but it's perfect, isn't it? Gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Hey, there he is. Nice calendar.
Now, this was absolutely wonderful. We honestly can't thank you enough.
It's been wonderful having you here.
I think this comes across on camera how very special the Crooked House is. And if you're in the area, if you're in Lavenham, you have to visit this gorgeous, magical house. So
Please do.
thank you
Come back
so
again
much.
soon.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you.
And you.
Thank you so
honestly,
much for coming.
Thank you so
Really
much.
brilliant.
So, yeah,
Better let you out.
hopefully see you again very soon.
Absolutely.
Come back to Lavenham soon.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.
So weird, but so cool.
Now that was something really special.
Yes, I have a huge smile on my face because we have to thank Ollie and Alex, who are most charming, honestly.
Yeah.
And for this opportunity, we love their house so much. And so we arrived yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday afternoon in Lavenham, and we filmed a little bit.
Yeah, and we're going to show it to you now.
Yes, so we
Oh,
hope
cool.
you enjoy it. It's a very lovely village.
The colors, and the contrasts of styles of the different periods. So cool.
Now, parts of Harry Potter
Oh,
and
that
the
is
Deathly
cool.
Hollows Part
Oh.
1 were filmed here in Lavenham,
Really?
and this is the DeVere house in Water Street, and it was used as Harry Potter's parents' derelict house, and I can totally see it.
I don't remember that. It's cool though. I like it with the brick also.
I
That
think
house
it
down
must
there
be
is
great
pretty
here
crooked as
in
well.
the festive season or during the festive
Oh yeah.
season.
Oh yeah.
All the wreaths on the doors and just the, I don't know, the vibe. What do you think?
Oh yes. It must be like in old times then.
Yeah. We're going to enjoy a cup of tea here in this tea room, which is called Lavenham Blue Vintage Tea Rooms.
That looks good.
This is the vintage tea room where we had a bite to eat and tea, of course, and yeah, it's lovely. We can recommend it. Yeah, I've just spotted this sign.
Mr.
So
Darcy.
there used to be a dog here at the Lavenham Blue Tea Rooms called Mr. Darcy. What a great name for a dog.
What's that here? Lady Street. Look at that. Huh.
Now, this is the Guildhall, and it was built in 1529. You can actually visit. Was also used for Harry Potter in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows
I'm
to
gonna have to go
create
see that movie.
Godric's Hollow.
Wow. The colors that they used are just odd, I guess. I mean, it's lovely though. Oh wow, look at the outside. You saw that on the outside there? The print or whatever they call that. It's cool. And of course, beautiful nature. It's everywhere in the UK. Those door knockers are so cool. Old grammar school. Oh, it's like the chimney was good. Look at just the row of these things. They're just all just as she's walking down, just they just look like they're leaning over the street.
We
So
finally
wild.
checked into our hotel room and was staying at the Swan in Lavenham,
Hey.
which is on the high street, only about 50 or 100 meters from where Alex and Ollie live in a crooked house. So that's really great. And of course, the Swan is in a historic building as well. It's from the 15th century, and our room has great features. So I'll give you a tour in inverted commas while Jörg is parking the car. So this is a so-called heritage room, and you can see the features.
Just the timber.
It's great.
Looks so cool.
It's really great. So we also have dinner here tonight
All right, there's
because it makes things easier. So
answers my questions on those pipes that you guys had already told me on. You know how I was asking about how do they add like modern electricity or cabling for internet or TV or whatever, and a lot of people, great feedback as always. You know, you either see it right over here in the center of the screen. You know, you have these pipes, whether they're for water or something else, you know, or conduit for electricity maybe. On the outside, but you also see, you know, light switches and outlets and so on. And so you're saying that it's been plastered or some variation of building material like that. So, yeah, it's cool. I actually like the look of it on the outside. You know, if it's just a conduit, you could paint it. It looks like it's matches the wall color, and You know, that sort of thing. I kind of love that old industrial look, maybe.
Really, really, I don't know, charming and unique. Lots of character.
Yeah, that's cool. Just, it's like the walls are all crooked, and it's
Here's
almost
the
like you're in
bathroom.
a one of those houses that it's the optical illusion kind of a thing. Are you
just a
walking up
regular
or are you
bathroom, I
walking
think.
down?
It's the room
Like a
that's
fun house.
very characterful. And the ceiling is very high.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm down here in the loos of the Swan Hotel, and as soon as I stepped in, I thought I need to share it because some places do give you a lot of interior inspiration. So this is the wallpaper down here. And I do love this green. Lovely lampshades. I bet they are from Pookie. I love the swan hook. It's very
That's
fitting,
cool.
isn't it? Hope it's okay to share, but for those of you who do love interior and interior design, I think it's a great place.
York likes his ice cream. Oh, that's an
This is
odd
the
roof. The roof on that? Look at that. Interesting.
This is the St. Peter and St. Paul Church. Look how big it is. It's massive.
Yes, it's the church tower is the tallest in England.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, seeing this for the first time, you think, wow.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
big.
crooked about the
for a
church.
village, but back in the day, it was Lavenham was a town.
Yes,
so,
and it belonged to the 20th wealthiest town in England,
yeah,
which
So-
is something.
exactly, and that's why you find this huge church here as well, because it also
pretty cool.
symbolizes wealth.
Yeah.
There we go. God, I would love to read those. If you can. Looks like you can. There's just something about the old churches and the graveyards next to them. And I've always enjoyed.
We hope you like this video.
I love the video. I always enjoyed reading the gravestones, just seeing the history of the person, because it's not just born, died. They always seem to add something and gives you a little kind of an insight into who they were. Yeah, I always dig that.
I must say, we had so much fun filming here on Lavenham.
Yes, Lavenham is really special.
Yes, it has such a magical touch to it. Also, I mean, the Crooked House and Alex and Ollie are special as well.
Yes,
So-
they are. They're really one of a kind.
Yeah. We go home feeling so inspired. And as always, we can't thank you enough for watching and for your support. It means the world, honestly. So,
Yeah.
Please go support them. I am really starting to dig their videos. They're enjoyable, and they're just fun to watch. Lovely people, and I just love that they get out there and do these videos. I really do. I hope you enjoyed that. I did too, because I got to see way more about Lavenham that I didn't get to see in the last one, and of course the Crooked House. So yeah, it has only made me want to go visit and add this to my list. And so a lot of you saying it's in a couple of hours from London, and that might be too far. Unfortunately, who knows? Maybe if there's something on the way, maybe that's what my question is for you. On the way there or close to there, that we can make it a combination of hitting something else. So it's not just Lavenham, it's something else too. Maybe another town, village. I can always look on a map, but what's the fun in that? You guys are so amazing. Hope everybody's happy, healthy, safe. Have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark. And he's from